Welcome everyone to Rapport Credit Union's First Time Home Buyers webinar. My name is Gabrielle Allen and I'm very excited to be hosting today's webinar. I'm the branch manager for the North Bay branch of Rapport Credit Union. And I've been with Rapport about 5 years, but I've been in the financial services industry for many more years than that. I'm absolutely thrilled today to be joined today by our fabulous guest speaker, Kathy Marcoux. Kathy is an account manager at Sagen, which is Canada's largest mortgage insurance company. Kathy is going to share with us today some really valuable information for first-time home buyers, as well as some different programs and services that are available to them. So the presentation will be around 45 minutes or so, and we're going to make sure at the end we have about 15 minutes for questions. You'll see at the bottom there's a little chat button. So if you think of a question, it's at any time you can go ahead and type it into the chat screen, and at the end we'll circle back and hopefully we'll be able to answer all of your questions at the end. So without further ado, Kathy, it's all yours.
Great. So thank you so much, Gabrielle, for having me here, and for Team Rapport Credit Union. It's wonderful to be hosting one of these events. It's been some time, like I was telling the ladies earlier, with COVID and lockdown and everything that's been going on with the pandemic, we haven't been in front of our customers. And this is a wonderful opportunity. So thank you for that. So for those of you out there, I'm Kathy Marcoux. I'm the account manager with Sagen, and I'm the regional manager for Northern Ontario. So my job is actually to support our lender partners, such as Rapport Credit Union, at helping them get their members into home ownership. So this presentation is brought to you in partnership with Rapport. So again, just to reiterate, any questions that you have throughout the presentation, please put them in the chat box. I'll address them as we go through. We will have time at the end of the presentation to answer any questions. If you have any scenarios that you want to put forward, by all means, this is a very safe environment to put those discussions out there. That's what we're here to do, to help educate and to provide you with the information you need to make very wise choices when it comes to home ownership. So we have a lot of material that we're going to be covering. So we're going to be talking, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about exploring your choices. What options do you have available when it comes to purchasing a home? And we have some wonderful products and services out there that will help you achieve home ownership. And I'm going to talk to you about some different programs that may suit you, particularly our Purchase Plus improvements. I'll let you know what that's about. I will talk a little bit about our company and what makes us different from the competitor. And I will talk about different down payment options for you. So hopefully by the end of this presentation, you're going to have a very clear understanding of what is default insurance, why you need it, and the options that you do have available to you. So let me start off by talking about our company, Sagen. Let me just move forward here with the slide. Oh, okay, one too many. All right, so let me just talk about who we are and what it is we do. So in the event that you don't know, Sagen is a high ratio default mortgage insurance company. So what we do, long and short of it, is we insure the financial institutions against mortgage default. So whenever a client is purchasing a property with less than 20% down for their down payment, that mortgage has to be insured against default. And our company is one of those insurers out there that insures the financial institutions. And we work very closely with Rapport at helping them with default management. So we have been in Canada for over 25 years, very reputable company. And in fact, we are the largest private residential default mortgage insurer in the country. So we are coast to coast. We insure properties right across the country. We work with over 300, what do we got here? 250 lenders across the country. And again, our goal is to help homeowners get into homes with as little as 5% down. I'm going to talk to you a little bit also about some of the different services that we offer here at Sagen that make us a little bit different. One of the things that we do have available is what's called our homeowner assistance program. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that later on in the presentation. But just know that we are your trusted partner. We're here about making home ownership a reality for you, and our goal is not just to get you into a home, but to keep you in your home during good times and in bad. So let me start off by talking first off that there are two types of mortgages that you can get when you're looking at purchasing a home. You can purchase a home on the conventional side. It's called a conventional mortgage. That's one way you can purchase a home. And with a conventional mortgage, it requires that you have at a minimum 20% down. And when you go with 20% down, no default insurer is required. So you don't have to get default insurance on it. Another option is that you can go with a low down payment insured mortgage through Sagen, where we insure against default in the back end. And what happens in that situation is that you would be able to purchase a home with as little as 5% down. And what would happen is a premium would be paid for the default insurance. That would be added to the mortgage and amortized over the length of your mortgage, so 25 years. I want you to know that you can use high ratio insurance. You can buy a home with as little as 5% down. Not just your primary residence, but a lot of homeowners don't know they can buy their primary residence with as little as 5% down, but they can also purchase a secondary home or a vacation property with as little as 5% down as well. Another program that we offer here at Sagen, and I'm going to talk about this a little more at the end of the presentation, is our family plan product. That's a product that we have that would allow parents who want to help their children purchase a home with a down payment with as little as 5% down. So if you do not acquire default insurance, long and short of it, you do have to have 20% down. That could equate to a lot of money. And I will go through some of those options with you, and I'll show you what your down payment has to look like if you do go on the conventional side. All right. So as I indicated, what is default insurance? We insure against default. So in the event that the homeowner doesn't make their payments, and it needs to proceed with a power of sale or a foreclosure, what happens is we will step in and we will pay out Rapport, the balance of the mortgage and any damages, and then Sagen would take back the property and we would move to sell it. Now, unlike life insurance, default mortgage insurance is a little bit different. So it's a one-time payment that is actually added to the mortgage, if you like. There are some homeowners out there that want to pay the premium up front. They're more than welcome to do so. But for the most part, they add the premium to the mortgage and they amortize it over the length of the mortgage, again, which is 25 years. Also, default insurance is a federal requirement. In order to purchase a home with less than 20% down, the government has regulated that mortgage has to be insured against default. And I can tell you that's really what makes our financial institutions up here in Canada so very strong. Unlike the US, there are some states where they purchase properties and they go with 5% down. And if there's default on that mortgage, it's the financial institution that has to bear the brunt and set aside reserves to help pay out those claims. Here in Canada, it's a different story. When it's less than 20% down, it has to be insured against default. So we will assume that risk on behalf of our financial partners, so they don't have to worry about that. And if you're a member at Rapport Credit Union, if you got deposits there, you'd feel you could take some comfort in that, knowing that you do have a mortgage insurance company backing those mortgages. And again, we only insure against default, but we do have some other services that I will talk to you about later on in the presentation. So it's very different from life insurance. And a lot of customers get confused. They think, oh, is it a monthly premium that I have to pay? So it's not like life insurance at all. Life insurance is definitely something that would be offered to you through Rapport. They're going to have that discussion with you when you go to purchase a home on whether or not you're going to accept insurance on it, life insurance or disability insurance. They have great options available to you. And with life insurance, that would be a monthly premium. It is optional and it would cover death or disability. So default insurance, very different from life insurance. Now, I want to move into the home buying process. And what does that look like? If you're a first-time home buyer, it could be overwhelming. You probably don't even know where to start when it comes with purchasing a home. There's a realtor that gets involved. You may have a realtor, you got your lender that's involved. You may have an insurer like Sagen behind the scenes. There's a lot. There's a lawyer. There's a lot that are involved in the home buying process. But to simplify it, I've provided you here with a little bit of a flow chart. So the process starts with a pre-qualification. That's the most important step in the whole equation, is getting pre-qualified for a mortgage. So you're going to go to Rapport, you're going to sit down, discuss your finances, you're going to disclose your job tenure, you're going to get pre-qualified, and you're going to get ready to purchase the home. So once you get pre-qualified, they're going to run an application. They're going to let you know what you qualify for and how much you can obtain for a mortgage so that you can get out there and start looking for a home. So once you get pre-qualified, you're going to obtain the services of a realtor, if you like, and you're going to start looking at the homes that are available to you. Once you find a home, you're going to enter into an offer to purchase with the vendor, and you're going to take that offer and you're going to go back to the lender, back to Rapport for final approval. So what happens is you're pre-qualified, but keep in mind, when you're purchasing a property with less than 20% down, an insurer is involved. So we get involved into that mortgage application once you select your real estate and enter into an offer to purchase. So you enter into your offer, you go back over to Rapport, you see Gabrielle, she's going to take your offer to purchase and she's going to submit that pre-approval that you have and the offer to purchase. She's going to submit that over to Sagen. Now, what we do as an insurer is we review the applicants. So we're going to review the credit on the application. We're going to do credit bureau searches. We're going to review the application holistically to make sure that everything is in line. We are also going to take a look at the real estate that you're purchasing. One of the things that we strive to do here at Sagen is we want to make sure that you are successful at home ownership. And part of that equation is making sure that you're buying very sound real estate. A good piece of real estate today is going to be worth more tomorrow. So we take a look at both the applicant as well as the real estate. Once we're comfortable with both of those, we approve the application, and then the mortgage instructions go off to the lawyer's office. The lawyer prepares the documentation. You go in, sign the mortgage documents. On closing day, the mortgage is funded. Pay the vendor his share for the purchase of the home, and you get your keys and you take possession. You move in and you start decorating. If you're anything like me, you start decorating. So that's the home buying process. Now, why is it so important that you get pre-qualified? Well, I can tell you there's a million reasons why you should get pre-qualified, but the most important reason is that you want to be able to act quickly when you do find real estate and you want to enter into an offer to purchase. I will share with you, it's no secret, the last 2 years in this housing industry, it's been a little bit of an anomaly, and there have been a lot of interest in home buying, and people are acting really quick. So you want to have your pre-approval so that you can act quickly once you find that property and you can enter into the offer to purchase. Also, once you're pre-qualified, you know where you can start looking in what price range and in what neighborhoods, right? You don't want to be pre-approved for $300,000 mortgage and start looking in the $500,000 range, right? So with your pre-approval, you're going to know where you stand, and your realtor is going to ask you what you're pre-qualified for, so he can start showing you those homes that fit your range. And of course, pre-qualification is first and foremost. In fact, I would not suggest, or I don't think anyone would make a recommendation that you reach out to a realtor without a pre-qualification, because as the chart indicated, the pre-qualification is the very first step, and it's the most important step that you're going to take in the mortgage application process. So get pre-approved. Now, I want to show you what the affordable options are for you with regard to your down payment. Some people don't realize just how much money they have to come up with for their down payment when they're purchasing a home with more than 20% down. It can equate to a very substantial amount. So here's an example of a home purchase of $450,000. Well, if you were going to buy it on the conventional side with a conventional mortgage where you put 20% down, you need $90,000 for that down payment. It's very difficult in this day and age to save $90,000. Now, of course, there are some wonderful initiatives out there. For instance, the first time homebuyer initiative where someone can tap into their RSPs and they can withdraw them without penalty and use that towards their down payment. That's a great option to save money for a down payment, but it takes a while to save $90,000. The other option that is available is to go high ratio. That's where you can actually purchase, save 5% down, and go with an insured mortgage. So in this scenario, if you were to go with 5% down, your down payment reduces to $22,500. You can see immediately how home ownership is far more attainable when you can go with 5% down as opposed to 20. Here's another situation where the purchase price is $300,000. You want to buy for $300,000 on the conventional side, you're looking at a $60,000 down payment. If you went with 5% down, you're looking at a $15,000 down payment. And then lastly, a $250,000 home. We're seeing homes purchased in my space here at Sagen. I see homes in the $250,000 to $350,000 range all the time. So it's not uncommon. So in this scenario, conventionally with 20% down, you're looking at a $50,000 down payment, or again, you can go high ratio and now you're looking at a $12,500 down payment. Again, it just puts it into perspective, and it provides you with a little bit of relief knowing, well, geez, maybe I will get into home ownership, sooner rather than later, knowing that I don't have to save 20% for my down payment. So what does the down payment look like, and what does the premium look like when I go with as little as 5% down when I purchase a home? So in this scenario, this is a purchase price of $250,000. So you want to buy a home for $250,000. Your down payment at 5% would be $12,500. So we take the $250,000 purchase price less your down payment of $12,500. So the base amount of the mortgage that you need to borrow is $237,500. That base amount of your mortgage is what you pay premium on. So in this case, because you're buying with 5% down, the premium is 4% of the mortgage amount. So it would be 4% of $237,500. So the premium would actually be $9,500. That's added to the mortgage and amortized over 25 years. So the total amount of the mortgage with the premium in this case would be $247,000. Now, I will tell you, the premium of $9,500 that's added to your base amount of your mortgage really is not a substantial amount. It's not really going to increase your monthly mortgage payment by very much. Some people may think, well, how much is that going to increase my payment, right? Is it hundreds of dollars? It's not hundreds of dollars. It's dollars, literally, particularly in this case scenario of $250,000 purchase. So who arranges the mortgage insurance? I can tell you, you as well as Rapport Credit Union can request your insurance. So once you find the offer, find the house that you want to purchase, when you go into Rapport is just automatically going to send it over to us. All I have to do is mention I would like to use Sagen, and they will send that application over to us for review. I will also let you know, from the time that we get the application from Rapport to approving the mortgage, it can be done within minutes, literally. All right. However, I do want you to know, in some cases, we may be required to look at the real estate a little closer. So we might want to conduct what's called a full appraisal on the property. If we want to look at the real estate, Sagen, we will order a full appraisal through our certified appraisers, and we will pay for that appraisal. All right, so that we have it on our books. And we want to make sure that, especially in this environment where some properties are going over list, some people are paying a little higher. We want to make sure that you're paying what the house is worth, right? We want to make sure that you're paying the value of the home. So if a full appraisal is required, we will order it, we will pay for it, but you will need a little more time in your offer to purchase before you waive conditions. So every time you enter into an offer to purchase, there's a time frame for which you have to waive all your conditions. And one of those conditions would be final approval with an insurer, such as Sagen, if you're buying with less than 20% down. Usually you have about 5 to 10 days to waive conditions. If we require time to do an appraisal, you need to keep that in mind. We're pretty quick in a normal real estate environment, but because things are a little heated at the moment, it may take us a little more time to get an appraiser out to the property. But I can tell you, we're within 72 hours. We're very quick at dispatching and getting a full appraisal back. But I do want you to know that one may be required. One of the products that we have here at Sagen is what's called the Purchase Plus Improvements. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that. What this product will allow you to do is it'll allow you to look at a home in your price range and add additional money to your mortgage so you can do renovations right after closing. So the beauty about this Purchase Plus is that we're going to take those renovation costs, we're going to roll them right into the mortgage. You're going to have one low monthly payment, and you're going to have a much better interest rate. If we did not have this product, this Purchase Plus Improvements product, then the only other way that you could do renovations after closing would be via a line of credit, which could be quite expensive. So what we can do is we can roll those renovation costs right into the mortgage for one low monthly payment and a much better interest rate. Now, let me show you what improvements we'll allow under a Purchase Plus. So say, for instance, you're pre-approved for $300,000, all right? So Gabrielle is giving you your pre-approval. You've got $300,000, you're getting out there and you're going to start looking at homes with a realtor. What you can start to do is you can start looking at homes in the $250,000 range. You're going to broaden the scope of the homes that you could choose from. Rather than just going in with $300,000 and starting to look at homes at in the $300,000 range, you can start in the $250,000 range. You might find that home that's the perfect footprint. It's got everything you're looking for. It's good, solid, sturdy home, but maybe it's dated. Maybe it needs a kitchen and a bathroom renovation. Maybe you want to do some upgrades to it just to really make it your home. Well, you can do those renovations. You can get quotes for them, for material and labor for the work that you want to do. And again, Rapport will just roll those costs into your mortgage. Some of the upgrades that we do allow under a Purchase Plus, we allow flooring. That's a wonderful upgrade that you can make to your property without breaking the bank per se. That's a really good upgrade to make to a property because it does increase your property value immediately. Kitchen upgrades, if you wanted to remodel the whole kitchen, we can certainly do that through a Purchase Plus. Bathroom updates, windows, doors, if you want to finish the basement, family room upgrades, replace the roof, whatever it is. Those can definitely be done through a purchase plus improvements. But I do want to caution you and share with you what we will not allow under our purchase plus improvements. Say, for instance, you find a home and it's listed for 200,000. And say, for instance, there was water in the basement at one time. And as a result of that, there's been some water damage and there might be a little bit of mold as a result of the water. So you think, well, the house is perfect. I want to do a purchase plus improvements to remediate that problem after closing and fix that water leakage in the basement, make sure that it's all sealed up. I can tell you that's something that we would not allow under a purchase plus improvements. Remember what I said earlier about purchasing a good sound piece of property that's going to appreciate in value over years? Well, we want to make sure that we're putting you in a home that's good and sound and it has no structural defects at all. So with the leaking basement, that's something that we would likely not insure to begin with. We would likely not insure a home. We wouldn't insure a home, in fact, with a leaking basement. Or if it had a cracked foundation that needed to be fixed, that's something else we wouldn't allow under a purchase plus. But for the most part, anything that's cosmetic that needs an upgrade, by all means, that can be done through this particular program. So I want to show you it in action. So how does this purchase plus work? If you find a home and you're purchasing for 300,000 with 5% down, 95% loan to value, the base amount of the purchase price would be 300,000. Then the cost of improvements, let's say you wanted to do a kitchen and a bathroom and it was $35,000. We would roll that into the mortgage. So your new purchase price would be $335,000. You would need 5% of the new total purchase price. Your down payment comes from the total amount of your mortgage. That would also include the improvement costs. So in this scenario, your down payment would be 5% of the approved value of the property. So the down payment would be $16,750. I'm going to pause there and see if there are any questions that you might want to add to the chat box before I go in to another service that we offer here. Oh, okay, that's a really good question. So one of our guests asked, can the vacation property be in Florida? Okay, the answer to that is no. That's a very good question. The real estate has to be here in Canada. All right, I don't see any other questions in the chat box, so I am going to move along here. So I want to talk to you about a service that we offer here at Sagen. And I can't reiterate how much I am passionate about this particular service we have to offer. Our goal here at Sagen is to help homeowners get into homes with less than 20% down. But our ultimate goal here at Sagen is to keep you in your home during good times and in bad. So what we have here at Sagen is we have a whole department of people that work with homeowners day in and day out, helping them stay in their homes when they run into a financial hardship or they run into a difficult time making their mortgage payment. We do a fantastic job at this. We've had our homeowner assistance program for over 20 years. We've assisted more than 50,000 families year to date. I can tell you that during the pandemic, I will share some numbers with you on the next couple of slides. We've done a lot of work with regard to helping homeowners stay in their homes where they've had reduced income because of the pandemic. I mean, some individuals lost their jobs, some had reduced incomes. We were there helping those homeowners stay in their homes. So if we had to defer mortgage payments, we did it. If we had to extend amortizations, we did. We would do whatever we can to keep that homeowner in their home. And I want you to know, let's go forward. Okay, there we go. I want you to know what the provincial breakdown was in 2020, just to give you an idea of what type of workouts we do and where are these workouts that we perform for our homeowners. Well, I can tell you that a large portion in 2020 was in Alberta, with 2,266 workouts. We did have, of course, Ontario. Here we go. Where are we here? Ontario. Yeah, on Quebec, sorry. Quebec was our next largest province that utilized our homeowner assistance, and they had 926 workouts. And then, of course, Ontario was next. So we're doing workouts for homeowners coast to coast. Now, what do we do workouts for? So this will give you a breakdown of the workouts that we did in 2020 and in what category. So I can tell you in 2020, of course, we're in the smack dead in the middle of a pandemic. And again, a lot of unemployment and a lot of reduced income. So I can tell you that unemployment was a large portion. So we had 924 workouts that we did. 16% of all the workouts that we did were with regard to unemployment. 39%, that was 22,238. 39% of the workouts that we did had to do with other. And I can tell you that other was reduced income. They weren't unemployed, but they had reduced income because of the pandemic. So maybe their hours were cut at work. Maybe they went down to part-time, but we had to step in at that time and conduct workouts for those homeowners to help them in their homes. So we do workouts for unemployment, illness, marital situations, breakups, disasters, COVID-19. I mean, 33% of the workouts that we did had to do with COVID. So we're very involved and we're here to help our homeowners. And as you can see, we have a lot of experience in different areas. So let me go forward here. There we go. Let me back up one. So I want you to know that, as I indicated, our goal is to get you in a home with less than 20% down, and our goal is to keep you there. There is no cost to the homeowner who applies for a workout with us. It's free. I mean, it's just built into the premium, if you will. So we're looking at helping our homeowners in these difficult times through things like COVID. But keep in mind, unlike other insurers, Sagen will do as many workouts through the life of that mortgage as we have to. So to give you an example, you might own your home, bought it, 5 years ago, and then you ran into a situation with COVID and you had reduced income. So you came to us and you said, is there something you could do? And we might skip payments or we conduct some type of workout for you. And then you get back on your feet, maybe, a year later, maybe your spouse falls sick and now you have to take time off work to help with your spouse. You can come back to Sagen and we'll revisit your file and we'll do something else at that time. So we'll do as many workouts through the life of the mortgage as we have to. And I mean, what's the end result? I mean, of course, the goal ultimately is to have the borrower stay in the home. We want you there. Rapport gets to retain the relationship, right? Because we are going to work with Rapport Credit Union and the member, yourselves and homeowners at staying in their homes. And of course, our job is to provide those solutions. Now, I can tell you, since the inception that we've had our homeowner assistance, we have a 94% success rate. That's very high. That means that of all of those homeowners that we've done workouts for, 94% were able to continue their mortgage payments after we did the workout. That speaks volumes. And the last thing I want to show you with regard to our homeowner assistance is a portal. So on our website at sagen.ca, that's our website. Anybody can go visit us and they can see what tools and resources we have available. We got premium calculators. We got all kinds of neat things on our website that help homeowners. one of the things that we did create just prior to the pandemic was we created a portal so our homeowners can come directly to us and they can apply for a workout. Um, some people are humble, and not every, it takes a lot of courage to reach out and to ask for help. And you might not want to go to your lender. You might say, oh, I don't want Gabrielle to know this. Like, you just might want to sit back and say, I just wonder if there's something that Sagen can do. You can actually just come into our portal directly, click I'm ready, and you can apply for a workout. What happens is it uploads into our queue. We will immediately reach out to you. We'll find out what the situation is, and then we will immediately get Rapport involved. And we'll work with all parties involved to find a viable solution for all parties. So I'm going to pause there and see if there's any questions with regard to our homeowner assistance. We've dubbed it internally here at Sagen, as well as with our customers, the HOPE program. So even if you called our toll-free number at Sagen, you had a mortgage that was insured with us, you can call the toll-free number and say, I need to speak to somebody in HOPE. They would put you right through to our HOPE department. Okay, I don't see any questions in the chat box. So I'm going to move on and let you know about another service and program that we have here at Sagen. And we have what's called an energy efficient housing program. So if you buy a home, a brand new home from a builder, let's say, and that home is energy efficient, or if you purchase a home and you do a purchase plus improvements on it, and you upgrade the furnace, windows, doors, you re-insulate, you make it energy efficient, if you increase your EnerGuard rating to an 82 or greater, we will refund up to 25% of the premium that you pay for Sagen for your default insurance back to you. That can amount to a lot of savings. And it's very easy to apply for the rebate. You'll need a certificate indicating that your home is energy efficient. And you just go to our website under our energy efficient housing program, and you can just literally apply online. So keep in mind, brand new home from a builder, a lot of those builders out there are building energy efficient homes. So ask the builder, hey, if you're buying a new home from a builder, is this home energy efficient? Are you registered as a builder with Evergreen Homes? Or are you building homes and are you registered with that Energy Star? So those are some of the providers that builders work with. And some builders, again, are building energy efficient homes. So know that this is available to you, and that you can apply for a rebate if you do make your home energy efficient. How important is energy efficient? Well, up in the north, I live in Sudbury. I can tell you it's very important, where you can get heating bills now like at $700 a month. And it was interesting, Sagen here, we do a first-time home buyer study with our first-time home buyers every 2 years. We run a massive study, we compile data. And one of the questions that we had asked in our last study was, how important is it to you as a first-time home buyer to purchase a home that's energy efficient? And interesting, notwithstanding that price, safe neighborhood, and space of the home were important, energy efficiency ran right in the middle. So it is an important factor when they're purchasing a home. So keep that in mind. And also remember, if you do want to do a purchase plus improvement at the time of the purchase, add money to make your home energy efficient, it's definitely available to you. I'm going to pause there again to see if there are any questions at all, or you need any clarification with regard to anything I went over. One in the chat box. Okay. No questions at the moment. Okay. I'm going to sum this up by reviewing another product that we have here at Sagen, which is called the Family Plan Program. Probably our best kept secret, but probably one of the best programs that we have available. And what this program does is we've created this so that a parent can help a child purchase a home. So under this family plan program, it could be used for a parent to help a child purchase a home. It could be where a child wants to help a parent buy a home. It's reversed. So say, for instance, my parents are on a fixed income, let's say, and they're pensioners. They're certainly not ready for community living just yet. They want to live in their own home, but they're on a pension and they might have fixed income. I can help them purchase a home through the family plan. So we could utilize this program a lot of different ways to help homeowners achieve homeownership. So under this program, everybody goes on the mortgage and everybody goes on title to the property. Now, here's the beauty about this program. I will tell you here at Sagen, 1 in 3 applications that we see here that come in have a gifted down payment from mom and dad. So it not surprising, given that I reviewed with you the information on what your down payment has to be if you're purchasing with 20% down. You got to come up with, in some cases, $60,000 for your down payment. It's very difficult to save that money. So a lot of children are going to the bank of mom and dad. And what mom and dad are doing, of course, they want to help their children purchase homes. But what they're doing is mom and dad might be tapping into investments to withdraw to help their children out with the down payments. Well, I'm telling you, with this family plan, you can avoid that because I mean, it really doesn't make sense that you withdraw an investment that's yielding 7% interest when you can actually get a mortgage with 5% down and pay 3.2% on your mortgage. Why would you leverage your investments if you didn't have to, when you can actually purchase a home with your child and save on the investments? So this program is there for that purpose. It's a wonderful program. Like I said, everybody goes on the mortgage and everybody goes on title to the property. So here's the thing. If you wanted to help your children purchase a home, you could lend them, let's say, or gift them rather. You can gift them $12,500 for their down payment on a $300,000 home. You can go on mortgage and on title to the property. Once your child establishes their credit and their job tenure, 2 years down the road, they can go back to Rapport, and Rapport Credit Union can run an application just with the child alone. And when they meet the qualifications, they can do what's called a release of covenant internally at the branch and release mom and dad from the mortgage. It's a very, very simple process. Once you're released from the mortgage, mom and dad can go to the lawyer's office and get released from title. So they'll do a transfer of title into the child's name alone. This is a great way to help children acquire home ownership. And it's also a great way to save parents from having to leverage their investments. And they're going to help with the down payment. Why not shore up that security, that interest that you have on the property by going on title and on the mortgage as well? So that was something that I wanted to highlight, just given the fact that, like I said, 1 in 3 applications that we see here at Sagen have a gifted down payment. More and more parents are helping their children purchase homes. Any questions on that before I move forward? I'll share with you a little statistic before I close off. We had compiled data and numbers to find out what is the average down payment that's gifted from a mom and dad over to a child to purchase their home. And I'm not sure if anybody would even venture to guess what the average down payment is that we see here at Sagen. But I will share with you, it's approximately $75,000. That's a lot of money. In the Toronto area, in the GTA area, where home ownership is almost impossible for some individuals, parents are gifting $175,000. That's the average gifted down payment. I couldn't imagine withdrawing $175,000 of investments to allow that to to help a child out. It's crazy. So family plan is a great product to utilize.
Kathy, we actually had a question in the chat. Who does immediate family members include?
Okay, so immediate family, good question. So an immediate family member would be a mother, father, brother, sister, grandparents, legal guardian, or legal dependent.
Excellent.
So immediate family. Yeah. Also, talking about immediate family members, I'll add that when a gifted down payment is given to someone to help them with the down payment, high ratio, when it comes to us, when they're buying with less than 20% down, that gifted down payment has to come from an immediate family member.
Yeah.
It can't come from a friend. It can't come from their buddy down the street. No, it has to come from an immediate family member for our purposes, high ratio.
Good, for sure. The man down the street is not an option. Well, first of all, I'd like to thank you so much, Kathy. That was incredible. There was so much valuable information there. I mean, I know a fair bit of this, but I was just riveted. So thank you for that. I'm just going to take a quick peek now. If anybody had any questions, by all means, you can type them into that chat button at the bottom. But I did have some members actually did give me a few questions. They knew that I was hosting tonight, so they had asked me to see if it was answered in the presentation, and if not, to kind of get a bit more clarification. So one of the questions they had was there a checklist that Sagen had that might be helpful for first-time home buyers?
That actually, there is a checklist. So I'm wondering if I could share it. When they go to sagen.ca, that's our website. When we have three little bars on the right hand side. I wonder if I can share this, if I can get it. Let me see if I could pull it up and share it with you. Okay, so I'm going to share this and I'll show you where it's at. Okay, so this is our website. It's sagen.ca. I'm going to move this down. So if you see these three little bars, I call that a hamburger. When you click on this hamburger, a drop-down box comes. When you click on tools and resources, we have guides that are available to our homeowners or for those contenders, right, that are looking to purchase a home. One of the guides that we have here is what's called a first home guide. It's a step-by-step first-time homebuyer user guide. It has everything in there that you need for to help you with the home buying process, including all the acronyms that we use in this business. GDS, TDS, what does that stand for, right? What's a pre-approval? What's default insurance? We also have in that first home guide, we have a checklist, which is a wonderful resource that you can use when you get out with your realtor and start looking at homes. You can keep track of the different homes that you look at. It might boil right down to taxes and utilities, right? When you're trying to make a decision between two homes. Well, you can keep track of those homes and all the costs associated with that home and help you make a final decision. So that guide is there. You could click on it. It opens up. You can print it. You could, utilize it on phone. Yeah, it's mobile friendly. So that's available to you.
Thank you for that. And I'm just going to check the chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. The other question they had was, what would you recommend as an amount to have aside for, I guess we call them closing costs?
Oh, okay. Good question. Now, typically, you should have 3% for your closing costs. It's always good to save a little bit extra. So 3% for your closing costs, but that does not include land transfer tax. All right. So not everybody knows that you do have to pay tax to the government when you purchase a home, and that land transfer tax is payable and it's due on closing. So make sure that you have 3% for legal fees and disbursements, and then you have your money, your additional money needed for your land transfer tax. Now, a first-time home buyer can apply for a rebate on their land transfer tax as well. So there's an option that's available. So I would definitely Google different resources with the federal government and different initiatives that are available out there that will help you first-time home buyers, save you some money.
Great. And for myself, what would you, as being one of our expert subject matters, what do you see in applications that come across your desk where you're thinking, boy, I wish that first-time homeowners would have known this maybe prior to? So kind of what would be your biggest tip?
I would say go look at homes, don't start looking at homes in the amount that you're qualified for. Know that there's a purchase plus. It's really going to widen all of that scope of homes that you could choose from. I'm not kidding you. What happens is you look at the $300,000 range. If you're pre-qualified for 300 and you can't find anything, you immediately go up. Now you're looking in the 325 range. And when you find the perfect home, you're back at Gabrielle's office saying, can you pre-qualify me now for 325, right? And that may be a stretch. It may be a stretch. And not only that, it's hard to go backwards. Once you fall in love with that home at 400,000, it's hard to go by the $350,000 range, right? It's interesting. Car salesmen do that all the time. You're in the market to buy an Audi and he seats you in the one that's got every bell and whistle that you can possibly imagine. Well, I don't want the Audi with the leather seats and the roll down windows now. I want the one with all the bells and whistles. So it's hard to make a concession after you've been sold on something. So really know about the Purchase Plus. The website is still up here. We've got this package. It's called Home Sweet or Home. And that package contains all kinds of information with regard to Purchase Plus, everything you need to know about the product, how it works. Just know that when you're pre-qualified, start looking in that range a little less. So you can just widen that scope of homes that you could choose from. And in this very limited housing market right now, I think that's the best tip I can give you.
I was just going to say, what a great tip given the current market out there where it's just really competitive, so if you could take a look at something that might have an opportunity, you might be able to, build that house essentially of your dreams with the perfect kitchen. So that's a great comment, certainly for the climate that we are in. All right, so let's just take a quick peek at the chat, make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay. All right, so I think that was most of the questions that we had. We've had a really robust conversation, and like I said, as much as I knew the information, it was just riveting. There were some great tips in there, and I thank you again, Kathy, so much for your time. I really appreciate it. It was really great to be able to do this after much time in the pandemic where we haven't been able to kind of get together and share in this environment. So again, thank you so much.
Oh, great. Well, you know what? It was certainly a pleasure to be here and to share this information. Know that those individuals that are on the call, you're in good hands with Rapport Credit Union. They do a wonderful job for their members. They make home ownership a reality day in and day out. This is what they do. So know that you are in good hands. And of course, if you have any questions in the home buying process, they're the resident experts. They'll be able to help you out. So thank you. It was a pleasure being here.
Great, thanks so much. So I think we, just as far as contact information for follow-up, if anybody had any follow-up questions or comments, I think we would, I guess I would ask Angela that. As far as contact.
Help@rapportcu.ca is probably
Perfect.
the best email address or 1-888-516-6664, which is our toll-free number at our member assistance call center.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Angela. Really appreciate that. And up on the screen, you'll see myself as well as Ashton, who is our manager of wealth. That is our North Bay direct line. And just a reminder, help@rapport.cu.ca is our general line. And of course, if it was specific to me, it can get funneled to me through our call center. So again, thank you so much, Kathy. Really appreciate the amazing presentation, and I look forward to hopefully doing something like this again.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All
Thank
right.
you all, and have a great evening.
Thanks so much, everybody. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.